Welcome back to GI Soap Opera today, your trusted home for deep dive, general hospital spoilers, layered breakdowns, and bold predictions you won't hear anywhere else. If you love detailed analysis and daily Portugal's drama, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and help this channel grow. Your support keeps these in-depth breakdowns coming. Now let's dive into the chaos unfolding in Port Charles. In Brooklyn, about to become a single mom after Chase's career-ending betrayal, is Rocco unknowingly triggering a devastating Port Charles exit? Will Sonny and Jason eliminate Colum to protect Brit? And is Willow stepping into political power with a deadly hidden agenda? Let's break it all down. Brooklyn heads toward a single mom adoption road. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Brooklyn Quartermain may soon face one of the most defining decisions of her life, and she may have to make it alone. For months, Brooklyn and Harrison Chase envisioned building a family together after navigating medical disappointments and emotional setbacks. Adoption felt like hope restored. It felt like purpose. It felt like the future. But now that future is hanging by a thread. Involvement in the Geo Kane shooting investigation has detonated everything. While he didn't plant Drew's house key on Michael Corinthos' key, that was Willow Kane. Chess made a catastrophic error in judgment. He secretly took Michael's keys to check for Drew's house key and then encouraged Nathan West to investigate. To Chess, it may have been about clearing Willow's name. To everyone else, it looked like he was framing Michael. And when Willie Corinthos witnessed Chess holding his father's keys, the situation spiraled. Rick Lansing exposing Chess at the PCPD sealed the deal. The optics were devastating. The damage is irreversible. Chase's career as a cop may very well be over. At Brooklyn, she may never look at him the same way again. A marriage fracturing under pressure. Brooklyn and Chase have already been on unstable ground. His obsessive determination to prove Willow innocent and to implicate Michael in Drew's shooting created tension that neither of them could smooth over. Brooklyn values loyalty, but she also values integrity, and now she is forced to ask herself a painful question. Did Chase betray his badge or did he betray her? As the truth unfolds, Brooklyn may realize that the man she married is not the steady foundation she believed him to be. It trust evaporates, love sometimes follows. There have been rumors swirling about Chase potentially exciting the show. Nothing confirmed, nothing official, but if he leaves Port Charles, whether in disgrace or self imposed exile, Brooklyn could find herself suddenly alone. And that brings us to the adoption. Moving forward alone, Brooklyn already met with Alexis Davis to begin the adoption process. She was hopeful, determined, ready. But what happens if Chase is no longer by her side? In the world of soaps, adoption stories can take years, or they can happen overnight in miraculous fashion. A baby can appear through unexpected circumstances. A child can need a home at precisely the right moment. If Alexis approaches Brook Lynn with a potential match, will she hesitate or will she embrace single motherhood? Brook Lynn, Quatermain is strong. She is independent. She has the Quatermain resources and the emotional resilience to raise a child alone. The real question is whether she is emotionally prepared to let go of the dream she built with Chess. Is this the beginning of the end for their marriage? Or is this the beginning of Brook Lynn's most empowering chapter yet? Rocco triggers a major exit. Meanwhile, another storm is brewing, and it centers on Rocco Falconari. Back in the 2026 preview given by co-head writers Elizabeth Codd and Chris Van Etten, viewers were warned. Rocco faces a stormy year that will trigger events leading to one citizen's departure from Port Charles and dire consequences for others. That bombshell hasn't played out yet, but the pieces are falling into place. Valentine's secret and dangerously. Rocco knows where Valentine Cassadine is hiding. That alone makes him a working liability. Valentine has been nervous about Danny Morgan knowing his location. Charlotte Cassadine defended Danny fiercely, insisting he could be trusted. But what if it's not Danny? What if Rocco accidentally let something slip to Jack Brennan, to Ross Cullum, or to someone else with dangerous motives? Charlotte could wrongly excuse Danny when the truth is far more painful. If Rocco is responsible for exposing Valentine's location, he may have to confess to Charlotte that he caused her father to vanish again. That emotional fallout would be enormous. Or is Jason the one leaving? There is another possibility, one even more explosive. Colum has already threatened to send Rocco to a stay-mayor to breed, doesn't comply with his demands. Rocco is Sonny Corinthos' grandson. That gives him leverage, and leverage is everything. If Rocco ends up in a dangerous situation, Jason Morgan will not hesitate to step in. He never does. But what if that rescue attempt backfires? What if Jason gets captured, kidnapped, or presumed dead? Rocco's storyline could be the domino that triggers Jason's looming exit. Either way, Rocco's future is turbulent, and someone is leaving Port Charles because of it. When power recognizes power, Sonny and Justin shift the board. Now let's talk about the dynamic that's quietly redefining Port Charles' power structure. Sonny, Corinthos, and Justin. Their case wasn't impulsive, it wasn't random. It was inevitable. For months, their interactions have felt like strategic negotiations, disguised as conversation. They speak the same language, leverage, consequence, control. Justin represents the law, Sonny bends it. Yet neither is intimidated by the other. That's what makes it dangerous. This isn't about flirtation. It's diplomacy with a pulse. Each understands what the other stands to lose. Justin risks her career. Sonny risks criminal exposure. When she slapped him after the case, it didn't feel like rejection. It felt like boundaries being renegotiated. They are equals, and equals shift the boat. Lulu's question, Willow's agenda, Bree's new plan. The next episode brings explosive developments across Port Charles. Lulu's dilemma. Lulu Spencer is caught in emotional quicksand. With Nathan West alive and her feelings evolving, she must decide how to handle Max Jones. Which one of us is going to tell her? The question carries weight. Secrets rarely stay buried in portals. If Lulu and Nathan move forward romantically, honesty may be their only option, but honesty has consequences. Willow's dangerous agenda. At the Metro Court, Willow Kane stares across from Nina Reeves with a look that signals transformation. She has an agenda now. Sliding into Jill Chen's congressional seat under Sidwell's manipulation gives her power, but also chains. Sidwell supplied the parallel used on Jill. He orchestrated everything. Willow may believe she can outmaneuver him from within. Uppers rarely control the strings. If Nina is asked to help handle Geo, silence will be mandatory, and Nina has never been good at silence. Bree's new strategy. Brett Westbourne is cornered. Sidwell wants a working cold fusion prototype. Column wants results or she dies. Lucas is willing to steal the medication Brit needs for her Huntington's treatment, but Brit doesn't want him risking everything. So she has another plan, perhaps involving Liesel Abricate, perhaps involving secrets too dangerous to reveal. Dangerous doing at Windmere. At Windmere, Sidwell promises Marco they are second away from putting the final nail in Sonny's coffin. Marco wants vengeance for Natalia Ramirez. Sidwell wants control. If Sonny becomes their target, war is inevitable. Sonny and Jason versus Colum. Would anyone mourn? Colum isn't a legacy villain. He has no emotional roots in Port Charles, no family barbecues, no shared history. If he disappears, would anyone grieve? Jason and Sonny may convince themselves eliminating him is protection. But history shows protection often becomes a pattern. Is this justice or muscle memory? If Column vanishes, Port Charles might simply exhale over coffee at the Metro Court, and that silence would speak volumes. Ryan Pavey may be known to fans for his work on General Hospital, but he recently revealed a heartfelt behind the scenes moment that had nothing to do with scripts or storylines. The Hallmark alum shared that he created a custom wedding band for his co-star and friend. Rory Gibson, and the experience meant more to him than fans might expect. In an Instagram video filmed from his jewelry shop, Pepe joked that he does occasionally work in film and television before explaining how his acting career and passion for jewelry making unexpectedly overlapped. Since returning to GI's last summer, he is formed new friendship on set, including a close bond with Gibson. According to PV, the two were casually chatting about their lives outside of work when he mentioned his jewelry business. That's when Gibson shared that he was searching for a wedding band. Pepe made it clear the conversation wasn't about promoting his work or jumping up business. It was simply two friends talking. We have kind of become buddies. He's a good guy, Pepe said. I was just like, well, I only work in silver, really? But I will make you a band if you just need a band. And I was really touched and honored that Rory would ask me to make his wedding band. The design ended up being simple and understated, exactly that Gibson wanted. For Pepe, that simplicity made the project even more meaningful. It wasn't about showing off craftsmanship or creating something flashy, it was about sentiment. I think stuff like that is sometimes my favorite stuff to make, he explained. It's not an overly complicated thing that I made, but it has meaning behind it. It wasn't to show off some amazing feat to technical expertise. It was a simple thing made for a good friend with sentimental value. The video concluded with Gibson smiling and proudly wearing the finished wedding band, a subtle but powerful symbol of both friendship and his upcoming marriage. While Gibson has kept detail about his wedding to longtime girlfriend Alicia Ruelas private, one thing is certain. Wedding up be captured by a thief was genuinely holded. It looking put forward. It had gone her bite or her carriage fast. Is but to trainer but tick 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 a chisel. Is Sony scallop and it is that onyx or taki but chitty a sire stop that. Oh but Tahi and it keep at it. Well, it stopped those to study. On GA Soap Opera today. If you want more deep spoilers, layered predictions, and power move analyses, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's next. Poor Charles never sleeps, and neither do the consequences. Stay tuned.